CGC has screwed up again because they have acknowledged that they are aware that customers have reported receiving their comics back bent inside their new CGC cases. And the problem itself is bad enough. I mean, the whole point of CGC is to preserve comics in their condition. And not only are they failing at their job, but they're actively working against it. Not only are they not preserving, but they're actively damaging these books. And once those books are damaged, there's no going back. And that's especially a shame if you send in a book that has some emotional connection for you. Because even though CGC theoretically could acknowledge that they screwed up and send you some money, they can never replace that particular book. You know, I have books that I've inherited from my father-in-law. And if CGC damages them, there's no going back. They can't fix spine ticks. And of course, I would be happy to get some money if they kicked it back my way. But you can't replace the emotions. But what's even worse than the damaged books, in my opinion, is the apparent gaslighting that CGC has been doing to its customers. Because I've seen many people report that they've told CGC that their books have come back bent, only to receive an email that, oh, your books are normal. There's no problems here. And CGC, if this is true, and I don't know because of all the other problems that CGC has been having over the last few months, I actually haven't even been sending books to them already, waiting for them to get their act together. But some people have still been sending books. And so assuming what they're saying is true, and they've been getting these emails from CGC, they've just been lied to. And so instead of accepting responsibility for their mistakes, CGC has told their customers, no, you're the problem. You're just all OCD and you see these normal things happening to your books and you're freaking out, but you're the problem. But CGC is just gaslighting their customers. And it makes me so mad. And this is something politicians do all the time. And maybe that's why I'm so sensitive to it, because that makes me mad. Especially even recently, the gaslighting from politicians has affected the content that I put on this channel. Because as some of you might remember, a few months ago, I put out a video where I talked about if Trump is elected, he's going to destroy the comic book market. And it was a tongue-in-cheek video where I talked about some of the indirect consequences on the comic book market from Trump's policy positions. And I made a promise that I was also going to put out a video of how Biden would destroy the comic book market if he were elected. Because I'm an equal opportunist hater of politicians, both the left and the right just gaslight us all the time. But I was going to make this Biden video because I'd been told for months by the media that Biden's as sharp as he always is. There's no mental decline, even though with my eyes I could see that this poor man was declining in health. But I was told, no, there's no decline. But finally, of course, at the debate that he had with Trump, and again, I'm not trying to make this a left or right thing because both sides gaslight us, but this is just one time. We've recently been gaslighted that affected my content. It was shown at the debate that Biden's got some issues with his mental decline. And then all of a sudden, the media starts saying, oh yeah, he is declining. What do you mean? What do you mean you just now recognize that? Nothing happened in the last week. Anybody with eyes could see that that was happening. But I've been told for months that I'm some kind of idiot or some kind of conspiracy theorist if I think something's going on with Biden's mental health. But now, all of a sudden, because he was exposed on a debate, now the narrative is completely flipped by the media. Oh yeah, of course he's having some decline. And then I get gaslight more that Biden as a hero has decided to step aside and let Kamala come and run for president. But we know he didn't just willingly step aside. He was forced out. And again, both sides do this kind of stuff, and it just drives me nuts. And they only acknowledge it when it's just so apparent that they can't cover it up anymore. And that's exactly what I think CGC has done. For a long time, they tried to cover it up and just deny and say, oh no, this is normal. But too many people complained on too many message boards. Too many people started making videos. And so finally they have to say, oh, well, you know what? Actually, we are aware that there are some reports. And of course, they don't even acknowledge it then. They just say, oh, we're aware. And they're saying that, oh, we're trying to replicate the problem so that we can figure out what's going on. Try to replicate it? What do you mean? You've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cases of this that have happened. You're having problems with replicating it? Well, apparently you're not having problems of replicating it to the people you're sending the books out to, even though in your mysterious lab you can't seem to replicate it. Are you kidding me? And that, again, is what the gaslighting just drives me insane. Because they're trying to get me to question my own sanity. That what I see these bins and these cases, and there's something wrong with me. But there's nothing wrong with me. It's CGC. CGC is the problem. And I hate saying this. I hate that this is the case. Because if you watch my videos, I love submitting books for grading. I love getting them back. It's the thrill of getting a book back, finding out what it is. Such a rush. So if you're new to my channel, I am not an anti-slabber. I'm sure there's going to be comments in the bottom that talk about, that's why I keep all my books raw and all this kind of stuff. You know, I'm not that person. I want to have books graded. I get a thrill having them graded. But it's such a shame I can't send books to CGC now. I can't do it. Now, in the midst of CGC's lack of integrity, I want to give praise to the Palm Beach presser who has shown an incredible amount of integrity. And I've never sent any books to him. I've just seen some videos where he told his clients to not send him, or at least consider not sending him any books to press because of this issue. And so he made the decision that he was going to give up money to protect his customers. It's the complete opposite of CGC and their, again, seeming lack of integrity. Again, I'm just taking the word of people because I haven't submitted books to CGC for months because of all the other issues that I've highlighted on this channel. Drives me nuts. But Palm Beach presser, if somehow you see this video, I really respect your integrity. Now, why are we even in this position to begin with? Well, of course, we don't know because CGC apparently can't replicate this in their labs. But what certainly likely happened is that CGC responded to the scandal from a few months ago where we're seeing that a scam was able to be run where their cases were tampered with by trying to develop new methods with their cases, or maybe even new cases, new interwells. Again, don't know, can't be replicated. But so they were trying to probably fix one of their issues, but they've opened up a whole nother can of worms. And on the one hand, I give kudos to CGC for trying to do something different, for trying to make their cases more secure. But on the other hand, I mean, you've got to test and test and test these things. And then if you do end up having problems, you've got to be transparent about acknowledging it and say, oh, shoot, we've got a problem. And I think CGC just in so many ways must just have this short-term thinking. Of course, they've taken some hits from this scandal. And so, you know, the scandal, and they're like, oh, shoot, we're losing some market share. You know, we got to get these cases right. And then they send out these new cases, and then all of a sudden they start getting flooded with these emails of, oh, shoot, things are bent. And they're like, you know, what? They just crap themselves. And they're like, oh, well, we've got to try to gaslight the customer because we can't let the customers be more angry. But the gaslighting makes me even more angry. It's got to do that for other customers too, right? Tell me, you know, if you're watching this and you send books to CGC, how are you feeling? How are you feeling about the past year? It's been nuts. And another thing that stinks is this is just another stain on a hobby that has been brutalized over the past year. There's been a lot of bad press that has come on the comic book hobby. Now, I know there can be some people in the comments below who say, hey, this isn't a stain on comics, it's just a stain on slabbing, and if you'd kept your books raw like I always told you to, then you would have no problems. And I have no problem if you want to keep your books raw. I respect that. We're all different. Enjoy the hobby how you can. But I, again, like to slab certain books. I like the thrill of unboxing, but I don't like the thrill of unboxing from companies where I can't trust that they have integrity in their grading and their processes, blah, blah, blah. So again, just another stain. Just another stain. Collectors are going to get driven out of the hobby. What's going on? What's going on? And what do we do? Obviously, the easy thing to say is let's all stop submitting our books, and then CGC will learn their lesson. And I hope that happens. I hope they start losing business. I hope PSA comes in and becomes a real competitor. So then CGC gets their act together, because this isn't hate for CGC. I want to love CGC. I want to be friends with you, CGC. So this isn't your enemy telling you you stink. This is your friend saying, please get your act together. Let us be friends. But I can't let myself be abused anymore. I can't let myself be gaslit anymore until you change. I can't be with you. I can't be with you. And I hate saying that, and it's hard to say that. It's hard to say that. Look at my videos. I've had so much fun with you, CGC. You've been my friend for years, coming back into this hobby of COVID. You were my friend, but you're not my friend anymore. You've got to stop gaslighting us. Now, the one thing that could still bring me some joy is that if you like this video, and if you haven't subscribe to this channel, leave a comment, tell me what you think, and please, don't gaslight me though.